I mean, I worked 34 years as an EMT and a firefighter. I was also a Navy hospital corpsman for the Navy. I was a supervisor of the casualty receiving unit aboard the USNS Comfort. It's a hospital ship. I was in the casualty receiving unit during the invasion of Haiti in September of 1994. That's something fun that you could look up because nobody remembers this. Anyway, to be a good Samaritan when an emergency scene happens, I mean, you have a choice when something happens, an emergency happens. You have this choice that you can make. You could either act or you could just watch and go on with your life. You are not required in no obligation except those if it's an extreme problem, if you and another person and that other person is hurt and you don't help them, you may get in some trouble for that. But you're not really obligated to risk your life, and you're not obligated to give this high quality first aid and treatment during an emergency. You're not obligated to do that. You just do the best you can if you have a conscience to do that. But when an emergency situation happens, there are a lot of dynamics that are involved. And it doesn't also, I mean, it doesn't really, I mean, it involves the patient because that's where the emergency is coming from. But you also have the responding emergency units, the family, and all the other factors that cause this emergency to happen still in play. So, when there's an emergency situation, one way that you can be a help to the to everybody, the firefighters and the EMTs and everybody like that, then what you can do is, first of all, maintain calm. You don't want extra chaos from your emotions. I know it's an emotional scene and it's really hard to grab your emotions when you're in an emergency situation, especially if you're not used to it. If you're not used to being in emergency high stress situations, then it's going to be very hard for you to maintain your calm. But try to maintain your calm. Keep focused. Keep in reality. Not so much tunnel vision, horse blinders towards the problem. Make sure that you are aware of everything that's going on. That will help. Instead of being an emotional wreck, be a help. That means trying to, if you are in an emergency situation or you're aware of an emergency situation, calling 911, getting the EMTs and the firefighters, the ambulances and the fire trucks, the police officers en route towards your area. That's the first thing you need to do to get help. Second thing you need to do, maintain calm and keep a open communications to your dispatch center. If you're in the United States, you have the 911 emergency system. All you have to do is dial 911. I'm not there are other countries around the world that have a similar system where all the emergencies, you just dial one number for all emergencies. It's good to keep a good communication so the communication center can relay changes before they get there. Let's say that you're on a car accident scene and the person was awake a few minutes ago and then suddenly the person passes out. Now, wouldn't that be nice for the EMTs and the firefighters to know that that person passed out before they got there? It gets more information. It gets the clock rolling. It gets the intensity, and it starts the planning for patient treatment. The more information that you get. So having an open communication between the accident scene or the emergency scene and the dispatch center through the phone, giving information of what's happening on the scene before police and firefighters get there is very valuable for responding units. Very valuable. It gives those responding units, those EMTs and firefighters and police officers, a window in what's going on when they are not there. It's good to know information. Keeping open communication. Second of all is tactically. You need to make sure that the access to the emergency scene is clear for emergency vehicles. You need to make sure cars are out of the way, obstacles are out of the way, people are out of the way, so that the EMTs and the firefighters and the fire trucks can get where they need to get to start saving lives and property. So it's very important. You can pre-plan an emergency scene by thinking, hey, maybe if I move this car out in front of this hydrant, then the fire truck won't have problems trying to get the water hooked up, and this house is going to be burning. They can't get the house fire out because they're dealing with a car right there. So before the fire truck gets there to hook up to the hydrant, get that car out of the way. Get stuff out of the driveway. Get obstacles out of the way for the lifesavers and the firefighters to get in there and do what they're trained to do. Make it easier on them. And thus, you, by proxy, have become a lifesaver because you have sped up the lifesaver's ability to save lives, and you have helped. So just doing the auxiliary, the getting stuff out of the way, having communications, letting the EMTs and the firefighters and the police know what's going on before they get there through the dispatch center, and pretty much maintaining a crowd control policy so those people are not in the way when the ambulances and the firefighters and the fire trucks get there. You are doing a great service. You haven't even put your hands on that patient and you're already saving their life. And that's a very powerful thing. So, just remember that there's more to an emergency scene than somebody getting sick and dying or somebody getting hurt. There's more to it. There's a lot more to it. And just remember, hey, you need to help out the people who are being responded by the firefighters and the EMTs and the police officers. You need to help them out by making it easier for them on scene and doing the things that make it easy. And thus you're helping that person out and being a lifesaver yourself.